Hi, my name is Oluwa Korede Asuni, and like I tell everybody, you can just call me Olu. You are about to listen to a recording of a presentation I recently gave to a group of business analysts who are all working for a large business analysis firm based out of South Africa. Of course, for privacy reasons, I won't be able to say the name of the organization or the names of the employees. In this presentation, I discussed something quite important to me, and that I hope is important to other business analysts out there, or any professional for that matter. It is the subject of going above and beyond the call of duty, and to know why one is doing it. To illustrate my point, I had leveraged the parable of the stone cutters and the cathedral builder, something you might have heard before, but just humor me and listen to it again. If you find this audio recording interesting and or useful, do let me know. And if you also have questions, please be kind and let me know. And if you really want me to do more of this, also let me know and I'll make a plan. I hope you enjoyed this recording. Thank you. Good afternoon, beautiful people. It gives me a lot of pleasure to be here. My presentation would not teach you any new tool, but will call your attention to how we behave, how we choose to behave, and how we choose to do things. There are new tools every day, and the decision to learn them or not to learn them is pretty personal or pretty dependent on the demands of your current project. But I want to call your attention to a few other things, and if I have permission, I would like to share my screen. I'm talking about above and beyond today, and that the practice of business analysis, or the field in which we play in, is becoming a lot more interesting. Some would argue contested. And for those who argue that the space is being contested, I would agree with them. If you think about the work we do as just writing business requirements and all of that, the truth is business now knows how to write business requirements. So it's not anything special that we're doing to business by writing business requirements. It becomes a conversation that business has with itself to either hire a BA or ask Oluwetu, who understands the product, to write the requirements. But I prefer to look at it as it's become interesting, in that the work that BAs do, the demands that businesses are placing on BAs, when I'm going to pay you 700 rands per hour or 1 million rands per hour to do business analysis, I don't want you to just come and write requirements. Like I said earlier, Oluwetu, who is already an intern in the business and who spent time with the product, understands and can write these requirements. It might not be as good as you would have written it, but the requirements get written. But if I'm going to pay you that much money, then I want you to add more value. I want you to go over and beyond the call of duty. I want you to ask me questions that I have not thought about. I want you to not just think about the problem I'm asking you to solve right now, but I want you to see how that problem you're solving for me actually fits into my broader business goals and ambitions. And that noise, or that signal actually is out there. And I think Bridget captured that quite extensively when she in her presentation, when she started to talk about the kind of demands that they are seeing from their customers and all of that. And then she charged you all to pick up these skills if you are interested in filling those gaps. At some point, you just need to pick up those skills. It's no longer whether or not you are interested in filling those roles, because those will become the only roles that are available. I think I just did my entire presentation and I've not even moved the slide. That's interesting. So I was going to introduce myself, but I see that Bridget and the team has already done a good introduction. So I'm going to talk to you guys today about the stonecutter and the cathedral builder. And I'm sure that there are people in this room who have heard about this anecdote before. The anecdote goes thus. A traveler, a tourist, happened upon a village and he found three people walking. And he asked them, out of curiosity, what are they doing? One of them answers and says that he's a stone cutter and he's cutting stones for use down the line. The other guy says, I'm a stone cutter and look, there's no other job in this village except stone cutting. So I'm cutting stones to earn an income so I can feed my family. The third guy who was asked, who was also cutting stones, looked at the tourist and said, look, I'm cutting stones, but I'm cutting stones so we can build a cathedral. Now, I'm going to own in on two of the answers. I'm going to group the first two answers into one. The stone cutter, who is just cutting stones because, that's what's available to do. And the other one who is doing it primarily to meet his immediate needs. And the second answer is the cathedral builder, the person who has a bigger vision of what their current tasks, their current work contributes towards. And I'll dive in a bit to each of the two answers. So look, the stone cutter, and to be honest, all three answers are correct. Majority of you will know that by now would know that in life, there are really no correct answers or wrong answers. The state of correctness is always relative to what you're doing or what you're busy with. So I am not judging any of the three stone cutters, but I am drawing lessons from their perspective on life, from their perspective on what they're doing. And I'm also teasing out the changes in their behavior or the elements of their behavior that can actually contribute to success. And then I'm comparing that to what we are doing today. And I'm going to charge you at the end of this presentation to evaluate yourselves and then decide what you want to be, remain a stone cutter or move on to becoming a cathedral builder. Look, stone cutting is a highly specialized discipline requiring a lot of skill to do it right. And that's business analysis. We design journey maps. My 6-year-old daughter cannot design a journey map. Some of my classmates from university cannot design journey maps because, look, I've decided to become a business analyst. I have developed my skills. I know how to do journey maps. Everybody in this room can do this hard, thoughtful, technical task. And people who haven't applied themselves to the discipline of business analysis as we have might not be able to. So there is no looking down on this set of skills. Look, we do context diagrams, we do multi-level process mapping. We look at business problem and we do root cause analysis. We select a solution and we can defend why we are picking up solution A over solution B, C, and D. We put it into the context of the business. We look at the internal capabilities of the business and decide which suits them the best, which solution suits them the best, which one would get them to market faster. We advise business on what businesses to acquire or what new talent or skills to acquire and all that. So it's pretty technical. It's pretty specialized. If you ask me, though I'm biased because I'm a business analyst, and it's only fair that I'm biased towards business analysis. But if you ask me, I think it's a career that is worth pursuing, and it's one that can be fulfilling as well. However, stone cutters, and this is now going into the realm of mindset, stone cutters usually have no concern or concerns about what the stone they have cut is used for. They simply cut the stone, deliver it, and move on to the next stone to be cut. Again, as a way of earning a livelihood, this is fantastic. But the question for me is this sustainable? And the other question is, this mindset is the mindset of most business analysts, especially those who are just starting out, to those who are in the intermediate level of business analysis. You find that people who are senior enough would have started contemplating whether it is enough to just be a stone cutter. And if you're not doing that already, then I think you should start to consider that. And this is a cathedral builder. Again, don't forget that The cathedral builder is also a stone cutter. The cathedral builder is also skilled in cutting stones. But over and above, or over and beyond cutting stones, they have the vision of the cathedral that needs to be built. So cathedral building is long-term, which is a long-term effort that requires daily short-term work. So you find that every day of the week, the cathedral builder would not look any different from the stone cutter. But the cathedral builder has something that the stone cutter may not have, which is the vision of what needs to get done. And the vision is more long-termish, and long-term is 3 to 5 years, right? If we bring it back down to business terms, whereas short-term is the immediate, today, tomorrow, probably up to the next 6 months. And the mid-term is 6 to 18 months, 6 to 24 months, and long-term 24 to 60 months. And that's the difference. So the question is, and then the effort to building a cathedral requires the skills, like I said, of a stone cutter, and the vision and the tenacity of a builder, of an ambitious builder. That's what sets apart a stone cutter and a builder. Even though they work with the same set of tools, they potentially go to the same place to work. Now, for argument's sake, let's assume I've confused you a bit. So I will disambiguate what I'm saying by comparing both sets of people. So the stone cutter is on my left, the cathedral builder is on the right, if you can still see my screen. And cutting stones, the stone cutter sees cutting stones as the ultimate destination, whereas the cathedral builder sees building the cathedral as the ultimate destination. So a business analyst who is a stone cutter sees writing the business requirements specification as the ultimate destination. And in environments where business analysts are also involved in testing, he sees the testing effort as the ultimate destination. That is where their work ends. Whereas the guy who is building a cathedral sees beyond that, asks important questions like, how does this business requirement fit into the business's overall ambition? How does this feature change that business is asking for? How does it change business's outlook in the market? How does this change improve internal efficiencies such that wastages or waste is reduced to the barest minimum and business can compete more efficiently? If you take these two different perspectives to the same work, the output, the outcome would be significantly different. The stone cutter would have written a business requirement specification that is fantastic. It's got process diagrams, it's got user journeys, it's got user stories, it's got all of that. But the guy who has a cathedral mindset, a cathedral builder mindset, would have gone on to write probably a similar requirement specification, but there will be room for extending this further in new ways. There will be questions that business might not have asked of themselves, but are super important to business that the BA would have asked in the process. And as a result, the business requirement specification is likely to be a lot more robust and a lot more fantastic and a lot more result-driven or oriented than if they've just listened to what business has said. There's this thing that I don't know if people still say it, but we used to say it a while ago, that business analysts are not scribes, they are not secretaries. For the most part, the stone cutter is a secretary, just takes dictation from the different business stakeholders and put this into a fancy document. Whereas the cathedral builder is not really a secretary or a scribe. They are architects, they are designers, they are analysts, they ask questions, and they factor in all of the answers to their questions into the work that they do. A stone cutter is a master of tools and techniques. Fantastic business requirement specification skills, fantastic JAD facilitation skills, fantastic functional decomposition skills, and what have you. But you see, the cathedral builder is a master of what truly needs to get done. What change? What is the real change and what value does it create for business that we need to get done, as opposed to just understanding the tools and techniques. Again, I need to emphasize that the cathedral builder needs the tools and the skills of a stone cutter. The cathedral builder just goes above and beyond stone cutting. Again, the stone cutter stops or gets confused when the tools and techniques fail or does not adequately address the challenge. On the flip side, the cathedral builder would create new tools to get work done. The stone builder leaves the work site when the day's work is done. The cathedral builder contemplates what needs to be done next when the day's work is done. And interestingly, the stone cutter is almost always easy to dispense with. Because look, it's a discipline, it's got rules, it's got regulations, and you can learn it. So anybody can learn to become a business analyst. So the fact that you have a job today as a business analyst and you have the stone cutter mindset, you need to be aware that there are, for every one of you that, and I mean this respectfully, for every business analyst that is out there, there are several other people who can acquire the business analysis skill and in a matter of months can perform the functions of a business analyst. But if your business analysis practice is that of a cathedral builder, then you bring something extra to the job that business wants. They might not be able to see it, they might not be able to put their fingers on it, but business keep demanding your skills. They keep telling Bismond, hey, no, I want you to send Olu to us. The last time we worked on a project, it was fantastic, and we want him back and all of that. And these are some of the things that sets a stone cutter apart from a cathedral builder. And the conversation is coming to an end. My charge to you here is, you need to ask yourself honestly, if you are just cutting stones or you are building cathedrals. And it doesn't matter if you are really just cutting stones now. What is important is that you situate yourself, find out where you are, and identify what you need to do to move you from where you are to where you need to be to stay competitive. So if you find that you are just a stone cutter, that doesn't mean you should have a bad weekend. Rather, spend the weekend thinking about what you need to do to become a cathedral builder. And if you're already building cathedrals, congratulations. Just make sure you are being honest to yourself, because there is something called the Dunning-Kruger effect, or is it Kruger-Dunning effect, which sometimes, it's a phenomenon that makes us think we are competent in places we really are not competent. So one needs to be attentive and be careful to avoid that. But usually it's tough to avoid. But do a soul searching, and if you really think you are building cathedrals already, then you need to please share your knowledge with others so they can leverage their stone cutting skills, so they can also become cathedral builders. And I think that's the whole point of the BE chapter conversations that you are having. If you feel that if you are senior enough, you feel competent enough, speak to Bridget, take on mentees from the team and show them the way, show them the path, show them how they can move on from just being masters of tools and techniques to being real value creators for business. And if you are cutting stones, the question you need to ask yourself is, how might you become a cathedral builder? There are all kinds of resources out there. This session is one type of such resources. I would link to a number of resources at the end of the presentation that you can leverage in your self-development journey. And then finally, I say to you that, remember, stone cutting skills are useful. I'm not disparaging stone cutting. I'm saying stone cutting skills are useful. They are the foundation, but they are not sufficient. They are not everything that there is to business analysis. And more importantly, it is cathedral building that is being rewarded, that business really demands. So in business, coming back to biz mode and saying things like, guys, we want somebody who can do product management. We want someone who can do data analysis. That they are moving from just basic stone cutting to saying, we want somebody who can help us build a data cathedral. We want someone who can help us build a product cathedral. And they are going to reward that. They are going to pay you for that. So now is the time to start considering moving from basic or fundamental, I think I don't like the word basic, fundamental cutting skills to advanced cathedral building skills. Thank you very much for listening. If this has been of some use to you, please let me know. And until next time, it is bye for now. Thank you, and see you around.